Ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch 2 has now been out for 6 months, and in that time we have got a bunch of games already. A bunch of great physical games, some stuff that is game key cards, but we've also got some amazing digital only games, and in this video that's what we're going to be focusing on. We're going to go over 10 amazing eShop only games for the Switch 2 that you absolutely need to check out. These games are all incredible, so let's go ahead and get right into this video. So me myself, I'm more of a physical game collector, buyer, whatever. You can see my small collection up there, but what I like to do is buy games. Some of them I keep forever, some of them I beat and then resell and then get new games. But every now and then there's a great digital only game or a eShop only game for the Switch and now Switch 2 that's just so good. You're like, yeah, I have to check this one out. So in this video, we're going to go over 10 amazing games that are only on the eShop currently. And another great thing as an added bonus, the most expensive game we're going to talk about today is only $25. So that's the most expensive. Every other game is cheaper than that. So it's like a win-win. But before we do that, I'm feeling generous. It's the holidays and I love giving back. So boom. A winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card. So if you'd like to have the opportunity to win anything, all you have to do is like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter or both of those, and just support the community as much as you can. And you guys know I will always give back as much as I can. Now let's go ahead and get into these 10 amazing games. The first game we're talking about today is Skate Story. Now this is a game that has been on my radar for a very long time. I really hate repeating myself, but you guys know I've been skateboarding my entire life, and I've played every single skateboarding game pretty much ever. I don't think I've ever played something like Skate Story, and I don't think I could ever even imagine something like Skate Story. You're a demon in the underworld, made out of glass and pain. The devil has given you a skateboard with a simple deal. Skate to the moon and swallow it, and you shall be freed. Ollie, kickflip, and grind your way through the ash and smoke of the empty lands as you take on seemingly impossible quest. Learn to master your weight and motion to conquer the weeping concrete, skate fast and destroy vicious demons, help a forgetful frog, and save other tortured souls on your journey from a fragile beginner to a hardened skater. And an amazing thing about this game I have to mention is it is fully priced at $20. So now let's talk about Stormlancers. I'm pretty sure this game came out a few months ago on the Switch, but earlier this week it got an official Switch 2 edition, and that Switch 2 edition is something great. You and your friends just crash landed on an alien planet, harboring a secret source of powerful magic. All of reality is on the verge of collapse, and two magical creatures have chosen you as their heroes. To save the planet, you'll fight, die, and bond with the Stormhearts to rise again, stronger, fiercer, and unstoppable. On Cryptica, no two runs are the same. Explore ever-shifting biomes in HDR at a smooth 60 frames per second, where every leap, slash, and dash brings you one step closer to unraveling the mystery. So, what's really cool, and I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest frame rate snob, but there are certain games where I think it's warranted. 60 frames per second in this just looks amazing, it feels amazing, and a great thing about this is it has couch co-op, or you can use Game Share. And I think Game Share is a super underrated feature with the Switch 2. So a game that is super addicting is Ball X Pit. This is a fast-paced fantasy roguelite where heroes must find the balls to plunge deeper into a seamlessly balls to plunge deeper, balls deep? Are you hearing what I'm saying here? Heroes must find balls to plunge deeper into a seemingly bottomless pit of monsters. Develop arcane ammunition and resources in pursuit of treasure, recruiting additional heroes to aid you in your perilous quest. So what's really cool is you'll make your way through multiple levels of increasingly challenging obstacles and then claim the ultimate prizes and then rebuild New Babylon. And you'll expand New Babylon with over 70 unique buildings that provide gameplay bonuses and unlock further power-ups, newer characters, and more. So this game just has that perfect gameplay loop, and every time you unlock something or figure out a new skill or something, it just keeps you addicted to the game, and it just looks and runs amazing on the Switch 2. So we also have to talk about a really interesting game called Goodnight Universe. When this game was first shown off in the Nintendo Direct about a few months ago, we didn't learn much about it, and I guess the trailer didn't really show you much either, but I knew there was something there. There's trailers that you'll watch, and then sometimes you'll continue to think about those game trailers. I know it's a very nerdy thing, But this was a game I just could not stop thinking about, and unfortunately I haven't really heard too many people talk about it. Your name is Isaac, and you're a 6-month-old baby, developing mysterious psychic powers. What you want most is to be loved and accepted by your family, but a secretive tech corporation wants you for their own. And I mean, who wouldn't want you? You're a psychic baby. At first, you start playing this game, and you kind of think you know what you're getting into, you think you understand the direction this game is going, but they really have some unique twists and turns. It actually has really good voice acting, which kind of surprised me. The gameplay is very intriguing, and if you want to take a chance on a game that you don't really know much about, this is one of those games I would take a chance on. So how could I possibly make this video without talking about Hollow Knight Silksong? And it's like, yeah, eventually this game will get a physical copy, but for the time being, it is digital only. There's a good chance I'll probably double dip on this game just to have a physical copy as well, just because Team Cherry did an amazing job. And it's one of the few times where I get why people double dip on games, just because they want to support the developers as much as possible. I really enjoyed the first Hollow Knight. I beat the game twice, and I thought it was very unique, it was very immersive, and just very charming, even though it was super difficult. But I was wondering, how can they improve on this game, right? How could they make a sequel that can live up to the expectations? And in Hollow Knight Silksong, they did that. Down to the smallest details, like, yeah, the NPCs are interesting, and the world building is very creative, and you just want to keep exploring, but the sound effects are amazing and the music is incredible. And I just think it's one of those few times where we have an actual success story where the successor lives up to the hype. This game is amazing. I haven't beat it yet, but I think it's one of those games that it's definitely worth taking your time with. So I'm one of the few people who probably had over 100 hours in Fortnite on the original Switch. And I know the game did not run great. I know it did not look great. I had an Xbox One, then I got a Series S, then I got a PS5, and I was still playing Fortnite on my Switch predominantly. Now I've been playing on my Switch too, and it is a night and day difference. Yeah, you might not be the target audience for Fortnite, and I understand that, but it has evolved into something really, really cool to where it still has Battle Royale, and it has all these really cool events. And some of those events, man, they are incredible. Like at the end of a season, you'll have Hatsune Miku riding Godzilla, fighting King Kong, fighting a Transformer. It just gets crazy. It's the biggest mashup of IPs in all of gaming history, and I kind of like that goofy aspect of it. Me and my daughters play the little Squid Game roleplay all the time. It is so damn fun, and there's truly like probably 10,000 different little games you can play on here. And the greatest thing about it, it's 100% free. Even if you don't have a Nintendo Online membership, you can still play online for free. They give out multiple free skins every single year, and in my personal opinion, it's just a lot of fun. So another amazing game we have to talk about is the Touryst Deluxe. In my opinion, on the Switch, this is one of the best looking games. I think it was 60 frames per second over there, and it just looked incredible. Now on the Switch 2, with the Switch 2 edition of this game, it is one of the best looking Switch 2 games we have, and it's flying under the radar, unfortunately. The game is exactly what it sounds like, the tourist. So you are a tourist, you arrive on these islands, and then you want to explore, and there's all these mysteries and puzzles and random things going on. And there are like set things to do and a set story, I guess, but the real fun is just going out and exploring. Want to go swimming? Or rather take a dive in the deep sea? Or would you like to visit an arcade? Do some shopping? Dance at a beach party? Fancy some surfing? Or will you talk with this strange old tourist and listen to what he has to say about these ancient mysterious monuments? This is one of those games that I hope everybody gets a chance to check out. So now let's talk about another free game, and that is Apex Legends. So technically, this game was on the Switch. And technically, if you played it on the Switch, you probably would have got a headache. There is no point of playing this on the Switch. Like, I guess I can applaud the effort, but it was absolutely horrible. Like, Fortnite was playable. It didn't look great, but it was playable. Apex was a nightmare. The Switch 2 edition of this is phenomenal. If Fortnite is not your thing because it's too cartoony or whatever, you might like Apex. I don't want to say it's more realistic, but it has more grit or whatever. And one of the coolest things is this is in the same universe as Titanfall. I didn't know much about Apex. I just seen an article one day that said it was downloaded 1 million times in 24 hours. So I went and downloaded it. This is when it was still in the beta, I think. And ever since then, I've been playing periodically. It's one of those games that once you start to play it, 5 or 6 hours will fly by. And in my opinion, I think it's probably the best battle royale that's currently out. There is some other modes, but the Battle Royale is so damn fun. And the actual shooting and gameplay is probably the best out of all these as well. And I really like the characters. And even though I mentioned it once, I'll mention it again. It's 100% free to play. So if Powerwash Simulator was not already great, we now have Powerwash Simulator 2. And essentially what it is just more Powerwash Simulator, better gameplay, better mechanics, better graphics, I guess. I mean, I think the graphics were fine in the first one, but it just seems to be more polished. In Powerwash Simulator 2, you'll play through a brand new campaign, uncovering more of Muckingham mysteries. Plus, venture even further out to brand new grime-coated locations like Sponge Valley, Power Falls, and Lubri City. Alongside new locations and jobs, you'll also find a new job type. Multi-stage jobs will unlock different areas of a job, from vehicle interiors to entirely different rooms. So your to-do list will keep on growing. Not only is this a game where it's like you're cleaning stuff or, or kind of crossing off a checklist. These are super relaxing, cozy games that are great to take your mind off something, where you're just completing tasks and kind of playing mindlessly, but in a good way. And this game is fantastic. And this is actually the most expensive game we're talking about today, because this is fully priced at $25. And the last game we're talking about, I've talked about a million times, but I just want to continue to highlight it. That is Fast Fusion. This was a launch game for the Switch 2. And unfortunately, if you didn't get your Switch 2, let's just say those first couple weeks where there wasn't, I don't want to say too many games, because we actually had a pretty substantial list to choose from. But maybe you got your Switch 2 a couple months later, and you had some of these bigger releases out. You probably skipped over Fast Fusion. This game really is fantastic. It is fully priced at $15. And I know we got Mario Kart World, and I know we have Sonic Racing, and I know we have Kirby Air Riders, even though it's not technically a racing game. But this is probably my favorite racing game we have on the Switch 2 currently, even with some of those other great racing games, and I'm not taking away from those, but I think Fast Fusion offers something a little bit different. You can fuse two cars together to make a new car, and when you do that, you get different stats. I think the courses are gorgeous. I think the graphics are great. It's a very hectic game where you're just flying through these levels, but in a good way. And even though you'll be flying through these levels, you can't help but to kind of like stop and look around, because they just did an incredible job on this. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the same developers as the Touryst. And it really just shows how much care and craft they put into their games. So even though there are so many amazing Switch 2 games to choose from, do not sleep on this one. Ladies and gentlemen, there were 10 amazing eShop only games for the Nintendo Switch 2, and the most expensive one was $25. That's another great thing about some of these eShop only games. A lot of times they are indie games, and with that comes indie prices, but also the care and hard work that goes into indie games and the passion. So, you kind of can't go wrong with any of these. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you own any of these games, let me know. Just start a conversation down there. And if you made it all the way to this part of the video, if you could do your boy a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to hit 24,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep our amazing communities growing. And consider becoming a channel member. I would like to hit 15 members sometime before the year ends. We're at 10 right now. And you guys know me. I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.